This is WP Product Talk, the place where every week we interview an experienced WordPress product person on strategies, tips, experiences, failures, and successes of running successful and thriving WordPress product businesses. I'm Katie Keith, CEO at Barn2 Plugins.
And I'm Matt Cromwell at GiveWP and now Senior Director of Customer Experience at Stellar WP. Today's topic is building strong bridges, the importance of partnerships in the WP product business space.
I love this topic because it's something that is always relevant to WordPress product companies. However, it's even more relevant this week for those of us who attended WordCamp Europe, which was last week. We met loads of incredible people, and now it's time to follow up and consolidate those partnerships that we discussed there.
Absolutely. And to talk with us today about this, we have a special guest from a brand that you probably have heard of called BuddyBoss, Francisco. I'm going to say the last name wrong. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Francisco, thanks for being here.
Hello, Matt. Hello, Katie. Thank you for having me today. I'm really excited. This is my world, partnerships, relationships. So I'm really happy to share my take on this. Yes.
Excellent.
So I should share a bit of my background so people get to know me.
Yeah,
is that okay?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I'm originally from Chile, Latin America. I have been living almost 7 years in the UK now. I'm still trying to get there with my English, but we can survive. Then in the kind of work side of things, I have been in the WordPress ecosystem running first a digital agency in Latin America. So I have built myself probably 100 plus websites. And then the last 7 years, I have been more in the kind of side of like leadership, side of things with the marketing teams, helping companies with growth. For instance, a few big achievements were my time as a marketing director at BuddyBoss. So I helped them to scale from 40 team members up to 150 when I left. So the monthly recurring revenue grew like almost 12x during my leadership in the marketing team. Then I also contributed in not the same way, but with increased the revenue for Wishlist member before they got acquired like a year ago. I think that something happened again with them recently, but in that first one, I was helping them also as marketing director with initiatives, and that involves lots of building relationships, either technical partnerships or commercial partnerships. So, and then now these days, I am more in like fractional consultancy side of things for growth, offering other SaaS companies and also WordPress companies help with marketing strategy. And then on my own side, because I love so much WordPress, I have become my own creator. So now I am running 2 plugins. Like you can see me LiquidPoll now, very branded, liquidpoll.com. And also I own stripecalendar.com. That is a content management plugin for WordPress. So now let's talk.
Perfect. I love it. Well, every week we try to kick it off with just talking about why we think this subject is so important for WordPress product owners. Why are partnerships in particular so important? Katie, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, well, at WCEU, WordCamp Europe last week, I watched a panel about people talking about partnerships, and they said several times actually that with partnerships, 2 + 2 equals more than 4. That's the principle that people seem to follow. And while being logically impossible, this basically means that when you work with other WordPress companies, you can both benefit and both grow your businesses in ways that wouldn't be possible if you're working separately in isolation. But for me, it's not always obvious where to find the right partnerships and work out things like how can both parties benefit from a partnership so that it's worth their while. And also one for me is what happens when one company is a lot bigger and more successful than the other? How can you still work together and make it worth everybody's while?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Those are good points. I love that analogy in general. I love it for teams, but it makes sense for partnerships too. We are another way we say it is we are more than the sum of our parts. I think that's a really good analogy for this. Francisco, what's your take? Why is this so important for WordPress product owners to consider and do partnerships?
I'll just like take a pause here and go back on the beginnings on why why companies these days are recurring to run go-to-network strategies or partnerships instead of going via regular channels. Like for instance, if we think about what companies can do today, even small companies, let's say, hey, you need to run ads. Hey, this is the way to grow. This is the way to raise awareness about your product or what you are building. But the paid acquisition, like media buying, is getting expensive more and more every day. And the big challenge, especially on the marketing side of things, when you try to nail the attribution of those channels, okay, but where people was touched first? Oh, we touched them first on Facebook, but they converted after clicking a banner on Google Display. In the end, you are not clear exactly which of those channels is really generating the conversion. You only can track the last one, likely. So that is a big challenge when you are kind of using money to try to measure, okay, or people coming from Google has an LTV of this and that, or people coming from Facebook, the LTV is this and that, and then the cost per acquisition. So lots of kind of math is involved in trying to figure out the best way. On top of the resources itself, just to run paid acquisition, you need someone who knows Google, you need someone who knows social, and also the budget that, let's say, maybe like companies that well established like Stellar or Barn2 maybe have now a position where the budget is available. But for even small startups, even like my small plugin in this case, Liquid Poll, we have right now, let's say, 150 paying customers. So it's not like a huge budget. The plugin is like, let's say, a small amount. So there are lots of challenges related to the budget and investment required to run paid acquisition. That's the first reason I feel companies should consider seriously go for partnerships. The second reason is like SEO. The SEO is amazing, but it's a long-term game. Even though you can use the amazing tools that we have at hand today, like ChatGPT and any other, Jasper, and so many more tools available to write fast or to simplify the flow or to speed the flow, that's still a challenge. Like, because your content will be there, but it will take some time to reach the first page. If it's not on the first page, it doesn't exist because people will not see it anyway. So you can invest also resources, allocating people to write content, but even if you find the right gaps in the keyword game, that will take time to reach the right people when do the search. So those two things, even though are strong, media channels or acquisition channels these days, but are kind of slowing grow channels. That's how I feel those channels are. Instead, when you aim to build relationships with other companies, with other influencers, the results can come to you faster, way faster. Let's say, hey, let's try to create an educational webinar on how to optimize the checkout page. As simple as that. Let's say, just like alluding to examples from Katie, like Katie has amazing products for WooCommerce, and one of them, let's say Fastcart, you can like simplify the flow and remove the friction 10x from the checkout flow. Let's run together a webinar where we can do this and that. So when you get that, you have educational content, people first will be interested in to learn that. They will join for free. You don't need to pay for the emails, right? Because they want to learn, how can I sell more? How can I deliver better experience to my buyers when they are visiting my site? So when you have all that together, you can have value to offer, like audiences, like your potential customers, and also, like the potential audience of your partner, let's say. So there are many parts as part of the partnership, but I would say that the results can come way faster. The investment in the partnership itself is also way lower because most of them are writing an article on each company's blogs or run an event together where we do overlap. Let's say one event for us this time, maybe in the next quarter, one event for you. So there are many combinations of partnerships, in regards to the offering something to the end user. Let's say content or webinar or a live event on a workshop. And then the other side, let's say you want to build partnerships for technical partnerships. Let's say, for instance, I experienced that. I'm not sure if I need to post in some time, but I just got so many ideas that I want to share. But one more to try to wrap up this step is, for instance, when we launched in 2017, the BuddyBoss platform. Probably you are aware it was a fork of BuddyPress. We did 100,000 tweaks. We refined and cleaned the plugin, etc. But in that time, there were no other plugins in the market compatible with the BuddyBoss platform. So it was like a siloed plugin, and no one could kind of inject anything. But my work was reach out to all other WordPress companies in the ecosystem, and we end up with 25 companies building native integrations for the BuddyBoss platform. MemberPress, Wishlist member. We got WP Fusion, with this amazing Jack. And then, for instance, we got directory plugins building the same. We got even a few WooCommerce plugins also, LearnDash, etc. Like the whole ecosystem was shaped up, and they say, oh, BuddyBoss has 60,000 users. They are willing to pay because their product is not cheap. BuddyBoss entry level is still 228. So like the audience is already kind of in the premium level. So developers and other companies notice that and say, hey, this audience has the money because they are successful building courses and stuff. So they committed to help us. And we built a whole integrations directory featuring all of them. And we are bringing sales for them because they contributed and help us build an ecosystem, delivering more features for our own people.
Nice.
So I would say that has no value. Like the value for everyone was huge. Like WP Fusion even later committed to develop a deeper integration with the BuddyBoss app product that came 2 years later. And things keep going and keep going. Just to share a bit of this in this section.
For sure.
Why is it important?
Yeah.
Now that's interesting though, because you've by linking it with other types of marketing, paid acquisition is expensive and organic SEO takes time while being free if you do the work yourself and have the skills. Partnership you can do quickly and it's free apart from your time. Ideally, I'd say I'd like to do all three for the best results, but that's a really good way of looking at the value of partnership. And you've covered a huge breadth of the different types of partnerships that you can do as well.
Absolutely. For me, that's the crux of it is a little bit of what you touched on there, Francisco, that the bottom line is that it's a way to extend your natural audience. Like GiveWP has a specific audience that is attracted to GiveWP. We can reach, like if we do all the paid ads we want to do, we do all the email we want to do, we do all the blogging we want to do, we're going to reach this one audience. But as soon as we actually partner with Yoast or anybody else, we're going to get exposed into their natural audience. And that's an audience that honestly, from all of our own native efforts, we're not going to really plug into that really easily. Of course, there's tons of overlap between like somebody like Yoast and Give, but that gives us the ability to extend our reach much more further, for sure. And honestly, like when it comes to partnerships, I think the WordPress community and the WordPress ecosystem is so easy. Everyone loves to be able to collaborate and work together. So in many ways, it's one of those things where you're not really a WordPress business unless you're collaborating with somebody else in WordPress.
Yeah. I have one thought in one idea that of the questions that Katie bring to attention is what we should do when our company is the small one, or inverse, when like a new player is coming and is asking for some help. Now I have lived that myself in both sides. Working for big WordPress companies, I was like kind of, hey, we are the coolest in the market, and we can bring you like very premium people to your plugin if you commit to develop an integration. So I lived that, and then now I am in the other side with my own stuff because I am the small one now. And then what happened is, when you are the big company and you are maybe someone engaged with you trying to get your help, I think that how the big company should see this is like kind of in let's say non-profit way, in a kind of mission-driven approach. Like you are kind of now contributing to the ecosystem, helping this small one. Of course, you need to always double check, or probably triple check that is legit, that it's a quality product anyway, because even new products are high quality anyway. And also, if that product will not become a competitor for you someday, or that the product will evolve to become a competitor someday. Now, those are things that probably I always try to figure out with the founders, and hey, what is the mission? What do you want to do? But I think that when you are the big one and a small one is coming to you, you should try to like put yourself that 10 years ago you were there first. No, like, I mean,
for sure. Like one way I thought about it is like, why would Yoast be motivated to collaborate with GiveWP at all? Well, in many ways, it's like I said, it's not any different than what I was saying in terms of extending your reach. Yoast, of course, is applicable to any WordPress website. Everyone needs SEO in one way or another. But Give targets the nonprofit audience, and the nonprofit audience is a segment of Yoast's audience. So if they want to get deeper into the nonprofit sphere in particular, then collaborating with us is a great way to do that. So even with a larger org like that, there's real incentives and real reasons why you would want to collaborate with a smaller one in terms of audience reach, I think. So.
Yeah, I have learned one. I have worked with Ninke from Yoast. This is her partnerships manager. And she shared a few insights. It's not private information, but for instance, the repo probably Yoast is the most active and downloaded plugin on the repo, and the repo itself has a cap, in how many installations is showing. Like it says 5 million plus, but the real number is 15 million. That is that huge is the number. Now the main insight that she shares is that the work that Yoast is doing to be able to build strong partnerships is they are segmenting all their customers. So when someone, like from X niche, come to them, hey, let's say I'm building something for publishers, they know exactly which segment of their customers are publishers, or which segments are this, or which segments are that. So they know exactly, they don't need to spam their whole audience. They simply need to do the right move to reach with that partner to that specific audience. And instead of being spammy, this is adding value to their own customers. So that is something that we should really think about it for those that are just getting started on partnerships. Try to learn the most that you can from your audience. So whenever someone comes to you, you know exactly, I have around 10% of my audience that will love to learn more about your product, or will be benefit from this and that. So you have something concrete to offer as well. I think that is something that I learned from her. It's amazing. It's very good.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's good to think about how the big companies can benefit from working with the small companies because of the niches or whatever. So I know people should do things just for the good of the community, but if you're approaching somebody proposing a partnership, you're more likely to be successful if you think of a benefit for them, aren't you? So I think that's really good to think, even if they're bigger than you probably can still help them by targeting one of their target audiences or something.
Shoot.
We've lost Francisco.
We lost him for a second.
I think my video.
Oh, just the video.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what happened.
Okay.
But it's all right.
I'm glad you're still here, though. I'll take a quick minute. And folks, if you are on YouTube right now watching us, thanks for being here. You can jump into the chat and give us your input and your feedback. We'd love to just hear your own experiences with partnerships, or if you have any questions for Francisco or Katie or I, we'd love to answer them here live. We throw your name up on the screen and all that kind of fun stuff. So don't be shy. Let's jump into story time. We go around the circle and talk about experiences, firsthand experiences that we have. Well, that Katie and I have.
I am here. My video is still not loading. I'm not sure.
Okay. Now the video's gone completely.
It looked like you'd gone.
I'm glad you're still here. All right. We'll talk with Ghost Francisco. He's here. So.
It's like disembodied voice, isn't it? Or a phone call.
Yeah. Francisco, what is a one really good example or one specific experience that you've had that was either good or maybe really bad with partnerships? Love to hear about it.
Yes, let me come here. Give me 1 second, please.
Okay, we'll go to Katie then. Katie,
Yeah.
what's your story?
Well, with partnerships, it's easy to be a bit negative about it by thinking that somebody's your competitor if there's a bit of overlap or something like that. So I thought for story time, I'll do working with somebody who most people would see as a very definite competitor, but is actually the company that I work with the most, as you well know, Matt.
Yeah.
At Barn 2, nearly all of our plugins are WooCommerce plugins, and Iconic are a WooCommerce plugin company, and we do have some direct competition between our plugins and Iconics, such as we both have WooCommerce Quick View plugins, checkout plugins, and also restaurant ordering plugins. And yet we put that aside and find where we don't compete and where we have common audiences so that we can help to make each other more successful. So
Yeah.
I thought because of that sort of potential conflict, that's quite a good one to go through, how you can work with people even when they could be viewed as your competitors.
Nice.
So one example is cross-promoting each other's plugins where they fill a gap which isn't met by our own. So one example of that is my own restaurant ordering plugin at Barn 2 does not have the ability for customers to choose a delivery slot. And so we promote Iconic's delivery slots plugin for people to use alongside our restaurant ordering plugin. So the customer uses our plugin to create a food order form, and then on the checkout page, they use Iconic's plugin to allow the customer to choose when they're going to collect or receive their food order. And we have that all through our knowledge base in tutorials, and also even on our plugin demo site, we've actually included their plugin very clearly labeled that this is Iconic's plugin. And we're affiliates for each other. So those use affiliate links, which is another kind of type of partnership, is a financial benefit, a direct financial benefit if you are using affiliate links to promote other people's products. Similarly, we've worked with Iconic to do direct integrations between our plugins. For example, they did an integration with our WooCommerce lead time plugin, which on the product page, it basically displays how long you'll be waiting for the product. And so they did an integration with their delivery slots plugin, which automatically adds the lead time you add to our plugin to the next delivery slot time, so that you get like a total waiting time, and just really like low level integrations like that, where we're not competing, we work together on.
Absolutely.
We have done a lot of mutual guest posting. So that's writing articles for each other's blogs, always on areas where we don't compete. So, for example, Iconic don't do anything about wholesale stores selling from B2B sales. So there is no threat to them in publishing articles on their blog about our wholesale plugin. And similarly, we don't have any plugins about, I don't know, product image thumbnails or the sorts of things they do. So we're happy to publish things promoting their products. And the final example I came up with was in Black Friday 2021, the one before last, where we arranged to email each other's customer list with a special deal. So like we wrote saying, extra 10% off for all on all of Iconic's plugins in addition to their usual Black Friday deal, and they did the same for us. So because we are both targeting the same user base, which is WooCommerce store owners looking to optimize and improve their store, we literally emailed each other's customers and did a reciprocal arrangement. So I think those are sorry, yeah,
I did not know that, and that's really clever.
It didn't actually generate that many sales because we did track it, which is why we didn't do it in 2022. But
maybe that's why I didn't know it either. So.
But it did generate sales, just not necessarily enough to make it worth the time.
Yeah.
So those are all things that I've done with a company that would be viewed as a competitor.
That's awesome. We have a nice comment here. Adil is watching. Partnerships can offer many benefits for WordPress product businesses, such as increasing brand awareness and credibility by associating with trusted and reputable partners, expanding customer base. Absolutely, 100%. That's
You
why
nailed
we're
it.
all here talking about it.
Yes. I have a few
Katie, one
examples.
other,
Oh, sorry.
real quick, one other interesting one. When you have good partnerships, you can also kind of band together when like crappy things happen. Like, were you also like wrapped up in this YITH DMCA takedown situation? Did you get a notice about that or see
Yeah,
it? Yeah,
we were only in the second round of
second
complaints.
round. Yeah. So
For
context there
people
is.
that,
Yeah.
for
Context for
people,
everyone is like there was a big DMCA takedown that happened to a lot of folks who offer WooCommerce products, and it seemed as if it was from YITH. It turns out YITH didn't submit it ever, and it's most likely some sort of like legal troll doing some things. And there's some guesses of who that might be. It seemed like it's probably some sort of GPL club, but it attacked a whole bunch of WooCommerce folks, and they all kind of banded together in the post status Slack area and said, yeah, we got hit too, we got hit too, we got hit too. And everybody kind of unified around a way to respond to this particular kind of trollish attack. I thought that was actually kind of fun, like seeing everybody together being, it wasn't fun that it happened. It was just fun to see people collaborating and being like, oh man, this sucks. I can't believe this is going to all of us. So
Wow, that's a big story.
yeah, it was interesting. So real quick on my story time, and then we'll get to you, Francisco.
Yeah, it's all right.
On the Give side, Stripe and PayPal are a big kind of like official partners. And of course, financial incentives are definitely a big partnership opportunity. And we've been partners with Stripe and PayPal for a really long time. Those are a really big deal. Recently, iThemes, Solid WP, iThemes, has partnered with PatchStack, and that's just a natural, really easy partnership. But what's great about it is that iThemes security in particular has always been really focused on the approach. I would call it is hardening WordPress. Like they really focused really clearly on making WordPress even more secure, like user password type security and IP bans and things like that. Whereas firewall type functionality, we've kind of left outside of the scope of it. But that's something that PatchStack, they don't like to call it a firewall. They call it virtual patching, something the PatchStack does really, really well. So we actually get to, with this integration, we're going to be launching it eventually. We get to add a bunch of functionality to our product through a partnership. So that one is a really great one that I'm really excited about. And another one, the longest standing partnership that I know of in the WordPress space is actually Nathan Ingram has been partnering with iThemes for 8 years ongoing now. And he has produced a whole giant trove of video content for iThemes over the years. And he's going to be coming along with us more and doing some more things with what we're calling Solid Academy. But Nathan has his own web agency and he does business coaching on the side. And he's been helping us with leading and hosting and organizing and running iThemes training for 8 years now. I think it's really amazing. So I personally, like in all the things that I find to be really extremely successful on the Give side and even with other stellar folks, so much of it is really dedicated to some sort of partnership in one way or another. They just are really, really fruitful in this way. So Francisco, you are here. You have video.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I refreshed the screen and it worked again. So
good.
It was
Tell us a really good example, a really good story time example for you.
For instance, I would say during the time that we were at BuddyBoss, for instance, the BuddyBoss platform, the BuddyBoss ecosystem lacks a learning management system. So from the very beginning, what we did, we built a strong relationship with the LMS companies. The first one was LearnDash, that's still leading the market for really by far. So what we did, we committed to develop a whole kind of unique UI UX front end for LearnDash. So for instance, if you compare kind of the default LearnDash experience that even a few themes are today offering, that is just like light makeup. What we did, we built our own whole layout for that. And the LMS experience was amazing. That was even became one of the main selling points of BuddyBoss. So lots of LearnDash users are using BuddyBoss today, mostly because the learning experience is amazing. Like we integrated dark mode, like distraction-free mode, and a lot of like toys and whistles that people love to deliver their content for the students. And also the relationship went really like deep, because not everyone promoting the other. So we were generating sales for LearnDash, because we, to all customers, we say, hey, we work with LearnDash, go for it. It's solid. And the same. So even LearnDash became the #1 affiliate that we have in our list. Like because of, they were saying, hey, we have the LMS. You want that pretty? Go for BuddyBoss, and so on. Then we were that level of kind of partnership that the whole app product, the BuddyBoss app product, is full React Native and is integrated fully with LearnDash only as LMS. So because that relationship has been running for years, so we know that it's a solid product, it's a long-term thing. So everyone committed, and today people love how even the learning experience is running on Android, iOS, and all that.
Nice.
Now,
great example.
That I think that is amazing, and we did similar commitment after a few years with Lifter LMS, Chris and the team. So now we also created a whole new layout for Lifter LMS, and then now they are close to release similar for Tutor LMS, but they're still, the LearnDash still leading only available for the app. So I would say the lacking of a feature can be transformed in a huge advantage for your product if you find the right implementation.
Nice.
On this case, BuddyBoss did a magic kind of integrating that level of goodness, if we say that, the experience is smooth, and even like the communication for future updates and all that is like really in sync. So I would say this is one of the big wins in regards to the partnerships that I have been able to kind of collaborate, experience, all that.
Yep.
The second one is one we did with Wishlist member. That's why I think I end up working later for them, because in that time Tracy Childers was leading the charge, as one of the co-founders. So there was no membership plugin natively integrated with the BuddyBoss platform. And they were the first committing to develop that. Like people wanted to, if people take level A, I want them added to all these social groups. Or if people joins membership level B, I want to upgrade their profile types to do this and that. So they were like a really needy, like people were asking for, and they were the first ones to commit and deliver. We run even webinars, events together, and we generate also like lots of sales, for them, and vice versa, because that integration. So this is something that I would feel collaborating. In this case, these were kind of a technical, the Kickstarter for this partnership was technical, but after the technical phase was completed, it became more like a commercial, educational partnership. They were coming, we ran a webinar together. We still have all those listed, buddyboss.com/webinars. We did one with Jack, WP Fusion, similar approach, one with Wishlist member, and the other one also with Adrian from Groundhog. He was the first committing to develop a CRM, an email marketing, fully integrated with the BuddyBoss platform. Let's say people join X group, so it triggered this sequence, and then you can do proper onboarding to all members. So I think that these partnerships, when it's on top of the educational part, it brings technical value to your product, and boost, of course, the value that even Groundhog can have for their customers is amazing, because this opened a whole new audience for Groundhog. For instance, right now, BuddyBoss users are like 70,000 paid customers, or a bit more. So now you can imagine that Groundhog has all that universe of customers, that are now available for them to pitch, to offer, etc. So I would say those partnerships were like clearly like win-wins, clearly win-wins.
That's a good point. I mean, Katie, I want to do a follow-up with you on this. A deal, again, is pointing out a good one here. Then I want to see what you have to say about this. Finding and choosing the right partners is not easy, though. It requires research, planning, and alignment. I can't agree more. And Katie, we have brought this up a little bit before. When you have a lot of WooCommerce extensions, it's not the only thing you do, but it's a big one. the obvious partnership is with WooCommerce directly. And correct me if I'm wrong, but to date, you all are not on the WooCommerce marketplace, right?
No.
Only address as much
Is
as you
that
want
even
to.
a partnership?
Yeah. Say it again.
If we were, is that a partnership, listing your product on a? Because I haven't really heard of them doing other types of partnerships, like cross promotions and integration.
I think it's a partnership. I mean, it's essentially like you're both mutually benefiting from the sale to different degrees and whatnot. They're promoting your product on their website. I think it would classify as a partnership. But I want to say the question I want to follow up on is like, you've made the choice so far not to be there. And so in your mind right now, they're not an ideal partner for Barn2. Is that fair to say?
They have many hats. So one of them would be the marketplace. Another would just be their products and blog, for example. And I have not succeeded in partnering with them, even though they'd be very natural.
Yes.
So, for example, there are multiple official extensions on WooCommerce.com, which we have done one-sided integrations of. For example, our WooCommerce product table plugin, we integrate with their product add-ons plugin, even though we've got our own as well. We always integrate with theirs because it's so popular. We integrate with their bookings plugin so people can book a time slot within their product table. And we've told them about these, but we never get anything back. They don't promote our plugins as a result of doing that integration. So it feels kind of not really like a partnership. We integrate because our customers are demanding it, but it would be nice to see more of a mutual partnership where they might be adding it to their documentation, for example, if it's of interest to their users, like for WooCommerce bookings, how do I list my bookable products in a quick order form? Oh, you can use product table for that by Barn2, that kind of thing. And I have not had success doing that. So I'd be interested in whether anybody else has.
Yeah, I will say back in the day, we had a product called Quick Checkout, and our biggest revenue stream for Quick Checkout was that we were listed with an affiliate link on WooCommerce.com. I'm fairly certain that they don't do that at all anymore. But way back.
Oh, on the marketplace where the sale would take place on your website.
It took place on our website. Yeah. So it was
yeah, I've tried to convince them to do that, and it's a definite no. You have to do their whole licensing, and it takes place on there.
Exactly. That I wish that was still a possibility, because I feel like that does make a lot of sense. Especially when
I would do that in a second.
You're like, no problem, partners, no problem.
Yeah,
nice.
I think that like the goal for them is like just keep piling up products on their marketplace. That's why probably it's not for part of the current protocol to push, even though for good products outside of the marketplace, because even products in the marketplace are not all high top quality. It's like, okay, good, so
these days,
I think that there's also that element in which they obviously are like the giant elephant in the room, and they get to set the terms, and so, for example, like you might not like their terms for the marketplace at all, and then it's like they're just not a good partner for me, because why would I do that when I can sell just as good or better on my own site? And also, when you're on their marketplace, they are handling the technical support, and maybe you don't want that at all, or they're passing it off to you with zero kind of like onboarding. Like that also might not be ideal. So there's definitely a sense in which sometimes a partnership might be one-sided or overly overbearing in one way or another.
I would say that like probably the spirit of partnerships, it's more towards kind of plus, and money is not yet involved. But it's, of course, like by sharing affiliate links and whatever traffic each site generates, and that is money for both companies. That is fair. But usually in partnerships, you don't try to there is no money involved. Like, hey, no, unless you are doing like a different, like buying a link, trying to do SEO for a site or something like that. But usually in partnerships, it's like, let's find a way for you to win. For instance, we have a question later, what can do people to run successful partnership at the end. But I think that is probably the spirit of partnerships. It's like win to win. Hey, I have this gap on my audience that you can fill no, let's find a way, no, so you can get in, and then I can see that you have this gap. I want to fill that gap, and then both can exchange something. Yeah.
I didn't update my captions in time. I gotta update them live. It's embarrassing, but that's where we're going next for sure. Is the best
Nice.
advice. So
Yeah.
I think I'm sure that folks listening in right now, they want to know, like, how do I get into doing partnerships? How do I approach folks? Partnerships sound great. They're like, yes, I'm all in. But like, how do you get a partnership? I'd love to hear from you all your best advice for how somebody might start getting into partnerships.
Ladies first. my mom teach me that. I know today is not that bad.
Sorry.
Go on.
Yeah. In terms of finding people to partner with, there are all sorts of ways. You're probably coming across other companies and their work in your day-to-day work anyway. At WordCamps, that's the most effective place because it just seems more real in person, but that's not the only way. You can reach out to people on Twitter, the post status Slack, just by their contact forms. I have made partnerships via all those methods many times. So it's not difficult to get hold of people. In the bigger companies, it may be hard to get hold of the right person. Yeah. So that may fall flat and you may need to find out who that individual is and target them. With smaller ones, generally, it's not so hard. And once you have identified who you think you would be able to achieve that mutual benefit with, just keep thinking creatively how you can benefit one another and make sure it's not one-sided. It's not just about you. They're not a charity. They are a business as well. And while you want to do the right thing and genuinely benefit everybody, you also want to grow the other person's sales because that's ultimately the motivator that's likely to make them say yes, even if they're a much bigger company than you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Francisco, what's your best advice? What's a elevator pitch?
I have like 100,000 ideas, but I'll try. for instance, I think that I will try to go in both ways when you are the small one or when you are the big one, because it's important. Not everyone is already established. Most no. I was checking. I'm waiting for one of my plugins to get into the repo now, and I am 627 on the list. So someday that will happen. No, so yes. there are. My point is there are 600 new just getting started. So all of them needs partnerships to grow. No? Now, when you are the big one, that's the easy. When you are the big one, is the easy because everyone kind of wants to be tied to your brand. So I would say in that way, you just need to try to do your checks. That is the best way. Now, let's say if you notice that certain company or certain product has a market, a potential market that can fill or fits your needs or your revenue goals, you should try to right away start building relationships and analyze exactly how much you can really offer to that company. And then you need to put that written together. And then you need to also go through your own media assets. Let's say the blog, social media accounts, maybe your email list. So, and you also need to put numbers, stats to your assets. So when you are doing outreach, you can say clearly how solid you are, how much audience and exposure you are offering. Let's say, hey, my monthly newsletter goes out and we have 100,000 subscribers. No, we have currently 10K plus subscribers on YouTube in case that we want to run an event together, or in case that so the idea for the big one is easy because you just put your stat together and you share with them. We feel that this product that we are currently offering or we are close to launch could be a good fit for this segment of your people. The big one is always the easy side. What I have done, what I have done, especially when you are working on a product that is going to market, like a new product that is going to market, what I did is put together kind of a partner package where you are committing to do this and that after the product has gone live. Because, for instance, if you're launching a product, what you want is for people to join kind of the venture. So you want them to make noise with you the day that you're launching your product, right? You want kind of generate certain buzz. So but that will not happen if they don't have guarantees that I can help you in a month when you are launching, but what are you going to do afterwards for me?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I learned this part. Like sometimes you think that the emails and the Zoom calls are enough kind of guarantee, but I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was wrong. I mean, I did that many years and worked well, but
Mm.
in the one of the recent, because I did a small work for partnerships recently, and I learned from Publish Press founder. For instance, he was very kind of serious about the partnership. Like he put like 100,000 requirements, but he committed. Right? I got it. Like he committed, but he asked me to something kind of a proper document with my commitments for them afterwards.
Yeah.
But that was for me a bit like, wow, like new. But I would say don't fear to do that. Like the more formal and serious the agreement looks like, the more easy to sell it. I learned that trick this time, just recently. That part before was only Zoom calls and emails. Yeah, and of course good faith, because you don't want to damage the brand, of course. But
Absolutely.
on top, that was required. So I would say try to put together your assets and so analyze how much you can offer, not for each partner. And then what I did, I have like a partner package. If you commit to help us with this launch, at least sending to your subscriber or sharing with your social channels, we are going to do the same for your product. We can also run a webinar together. We can offer you a podcast together. We can offer you 2 articles in your blog during this year, featuring your products that are not competing with us. So they can have a clear roadmap of how much value they're going to get from you.
Yep, absolutely.
So I think that is like even more than your own pitch, because of course, in partnership, you try to pitch, we are good, we are doing well, etc. But the concrete value that you're offering is what matters at the end.
Absolutely. That's a good one.
I feel that, I mean, in my case, that has worked. Try to analyze exactly how much you can give away and then put that together as part of the offer.
That's a great one. For me personally, I think partnerships are all about relationships, and you really have to be invested in the other person the other business as much as you can, just for who they are and what they do, not for what you're going to gain out of it. You will gain something out of it, but you have to be invested in them first. And I personally have found over the years that, like for example, these small little intros that we do at the beginning, or I've asked other podcast hosts if they would do an intro for me. Honestly, that happens because I've built up relationships with those people. And so when I come and say, hey, I have this crazy idea, would you do a quick little video intro for me? They're like, sure, of course I will. It's not even an ask anymore, because it's just part of who we are. And if you build up those kinds of relationships over time, making those kinds of asks we don't even think of them as partnerships anymore. It's just like, I want to do this thing for Matt because I know that Matt does stuff for me all the time.
I have goodwill towards goodwill.
Yeah, it's not the only reason why I do those things. I like to do those things. I like to be helpful. But the relationship building is just so incredibly valuable, so that at the drop of a hat, whenever I need a quick thing, folks are there and available. So I would say invest in your network as much as you can, all the time, without thinking about what you will get back, because one day you're going to ask to get something back and they're going to be there for you.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Nice. Well, this was a great conversation. Francisco, thanks so much for being here and bringing your expertise to the table.
Yes. I know we are close to finish, but I would love to share some tips for the small ones.
Yeah. We got 1 minute for sure. And then we're going to wrap it up.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I would say, for the small ones, they also need to take advantage of their network. But a good thing that has worked well, for the small ones, the last couple of years, is not only like partner with other WordPress companies, because even if a small one is trying to get help from a big one, not always they will get success. It's not always like easy to achieve. But what has worked for these days is build partnerships with other communities. For instance, there are big Facebook groups where people speak about WordPress, where people is learning about WordPress, where a few people, even YouTubers that create content for WordPress, they run communities where help others. these communities has become a really good source of potential customers for the small ones. So partnerships is not only about WordPress company versus WordPress company. It's also think about where your people is hanging out. You just say about the importance of the relevance of building relationships, but you also need to build relationships with the communities where your people are hanging out, are learning about your products. So when the time comes, you can pop there, speak with the admin and say, hey, I have this, I have that. Do you feel that this can bring value to your community? And they would say, I do. No, but that these days is working way better. For instance, there are many Bangladeshi WordPress companies that are making tons in revenue just by running a special or doing the special launches with a few communities that run WordPress or learning for WordPress. So I would say really consider totally. There is a strategy in the marketing named community-led growth. No? So I would say the go-to-market, the go-to-network, or community-led growth, those together are the way for the small ones these days.
Excellent. Good stuff. Great. Well, thanks everybody for being here. I want a quick shout out to Post Status for being kind of our green room where we organize all these things. Thanks to the WP Minute who continues to support us and help us. Hit the like button if you can. Hit the subscribe button if you can. Tell a friend about us if you can. And next week, we're gonna see. It's a little tentative right now, but if the Termageddon folks are listening, I'm gonna be coming. I'm hoping that I can get them for next week. If not, it's gonna be somebody else. We'll see. But thanks everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Okay. Thank you for having me. This was amazing. Bye-bye.